By watching this video, you'll gain an understanding of consciousness. You might even have an awakening moment and think, oh, this is reality. There's a chance that your consciousness might awaken. If you're not ready to wake up yet, now is the time to stop watching. So, recently, I had a dream about my childhood while I was sleeping. In the dream, I was fishing for carp with my childhood friend at a local river. And then, I realized, wait, this is a dream. I became aware that I was dreaming while still in the dream. This state of awareness during a dream is called lucid dreaming. The issue is, because I've trained my conscious mind so much. Even in my dream, I was fully aware of my conscious mind. And it was incredibly clear and vivid. Normally, dreams are supposed to unfold unconsciously. But in my case, I was clearly and consciously aware within the dream. Wait, is this okay? Suddenly, a wave of fear hit me. I started worrying that being this conscious in the dream world could mean I might get stuck in it. I was afraid I might not be able to return to the real world. And just then, the dream world turned completely white. And I woke up. Now, let's talk. The first step toward awakening in this long, 100-year dream of life is to start paying attention to the question, what is consciousness? In other words, by watching this video, your consciousness is already beginning to awaken. Hello, I'm Japanese Urban Sage. Huh? So this is what consciousness really is. As you deepen your understanding of what consciousness is, you'll learn to master both your conscious and subconscious mind. And with that, you'll expand your ability to freely control your life. This is what you can look forward to in this video. The video is divided into different levels as follows. Beginner's level, what is consciousness? What is the unconscious mind? Intermediate level, how the level of your awakened consciousness determines your life. What is awakening? The stages of awakening. How to control your life freely. Advanced level, what is the third stage of awakening? Let's start with level 1. Beginner's level, what is consciousness? What is the unconscious mind? Humans are beings still evolving from apes, but do apes have consciousness? Apes do have unconscious minds. Wait, what do you mean? It turns out, there seem to be two types of consciousness. Consciousness, conscious mind, the mind we are aware of. Unconsciousness, subconscious mind, the mind we are not aware of. Out of our entire consciousness, only about 5% is the conscious mind we can control. The remaining 95% is the unconscious mind or subconscious. That means 95% of our everyday thoughts and actions are controlled by the subconscious mind. Just like breathing and heartbeats happen automatically, so do 95% of our thoughts and actions. The automatic thoughts are called automatic thinking, and the automatic actions are called automatic behavior. So, we live 95% of our lives driven by automatic thoughts and automatic behaviors from our subconscious. In terms of time, out of 24 hours in a day, we are consciously thinking and acting for about 1 hour. The remaining 23 hours are spent in automatic thinking and automatic behavior controlled by the subconscious. There's proof of this. Try to stop your thoughts right now. Stop all distractions and empty your mind. Go ahead. Huh? Why should I? Does that even make sense? You'll find that automatic thoughts keep popping up. And it's impossible to stay empty-minded, right? Even for just 20 seconds, you can't stop thinking. That means 95% of our thoughts are being automatically controlled by our subconscious mind. The same goes for our actions. Wait, 95% of my thoughts and actions are automatic? It's surprising, isn't it? But, in a way, it's actually natural. Animals like apes live 100% of their lives in automatic thinking and automatic behavior. And they manage just fine. So, for humans, who are still evolving from apes, it's natural that most of our day is spent in automatic thinking and automatic behavior. To summarize, what is consciousness? There are two types of consciousness. Conscious mind that we control, Unconscious mind, subconscious. 95% of our thoughts and actions are controlled by the unconscious mind. That's why things don't always go the way we want them to. Why things don't go as planned. For example, even if you think, I want to change myself and my life, you often end up living the same way as before. The thought, I want to change, comes from your conscious mind. However, the subconscious mind has a tendency to resist change. It prefers to maintain the status quo, which is called the status quo bias. And since 95% of your mind is unconscious, even if your conscious mind wants to change, your subconscious says it's fine to stay the same and resists the change. As a result, 95% of your thoughts and actions stay the same as always. And you end up living your life just like before. This is known as the conflict between the conscious and subconscious mind. It's why things like, I want to lose weight, but I keep eating. Or, I want to attract more money, but the law of attraction isn't working, happen. Let's take money as an example. Your conscious mind might think, I want to attract money. But if your subconscious has certain beliefs like these, I want money, but I can't get it. Money is a bad thing. Rich people are bad people. Humans have a tendency to prove what they subconsciously believe to be true. This is called confirmation bias, where the brain looks for evidence to support its beliefs. So, without realizing it, you engage in thoughts and actions that push money away. And as a result, you live a life without money. You might think, see? I knew I couldn't get money. I was right all along. In this way, you reinforce your own beliefs. Additionally, if you think money is bad, you won't want to have it. And if you believe rich people are bad, you won't want to become one. As a result, you unconsciously engage in thoughts and behaviors that keep money away from you. This is why, even though you consciously want to attract money, through the law of attraction, you can't seem to do it. It's because your subconscious isn't aligned with your conscious desires. In this case, what should you do? You need to change the subconscious beliefs that are holding you back. That's why in the fields of self-help and spirituality, reprogramming the subconscious is such a common theme. To summarize, what is consciousness? The conscious and subconscious mind can sometimes have conflicting desires. When there's a conflict, the subconscious mind's desires tend to become reality. That wraps up the beginner's level. Next, in the intermediate level, we'll dive a bit deeper and discuss the essential truths behind this. Intermediate level, how your level of awakened consciousness determines your life. We, as humans, Homo sapiens, are still evolving from apes. That's why human behavior is very similar to that of apes. Apes try to climb the ranks within their social group, because being at the top of the hierarchy gives them an advantage for survival and reproduction. Humans do the same. We compete daily to rise to the top of the hierarchy in society. Entrance exam competitions, job competitions, promotions, romantic competition. Have you ever wondered, why is life full of competition? It's because, unconsciously, we're trying to rank higher in the hierarchy. What is everyone competing for? We're all competing to rise in the ranks. It may seem like we're competing for money, but if you give money to apes, they'll start using it to measure their social ranking. In other words, money itself is just a tool for exchange. But in modern society, money has become a tool to measure your rank in the hierarchy. That's why people chase money beyond what they actually need. It's driven by a primal fear, a fear of being seen as a loser, of being perceived as poor, or of being seen as inferior. On the other hand, people also chase money because of a primal desire to be seen as a winner, to be perceived as rich, and to be seen as superior. These behaviors arise because we're living unconsciously, driven by the primal instincts we inherited from apes. As a result, some people who have trained their conscious minds to a high degree become indifferent to money. It's not that they don't care about money itself. It's more accurate to say they're indifferent to a ranking in the social hierarchy. Their primal instincts have weakened. Therefore, they're also less interested in how others judge them. The difference between social success and life success. Social success is defined by how others evaluate you. Our primal instincts push us to seek social success because it increases our chances of survival and reproduction. In any hierarchy, who is the leader and who is at the bottom is determined by others, not by self-evaluation. That's why people who live unconsciously and instinctively are more concerned about how others perceive them and pursue social success. In addition, they constantly monitor their rank within society, sensitive to whether someone is seen as a winner or a loser. When someone falls, their relative rank improves, so they take pleasure in others' failures. And they may feel envious of others' successes and try to drag them down. Such individuals tend to live a life where they constantly compare themselves to others. For them, life becomes a competition. And this world becomes a scary place, full of survival of the fittest. This is the experience of people who live unconsciously and instinctively. And it's the life experienced by those who chase social success. This was exactly how I used to live. On the other hand, those who are more awakened and have a higher level of conscious awareness, their primal desires and impulses weaken. And they stop being swayed by how others evaluate them, focusing instead on their own happiness. In other words, they begin living as life's true winners, focusing on their personal happiness. Being a true winner in life means success is measured by your own self-evaluation. Am I happy? No matter what others think, if you feel happy, then you are a true winner in life. Returning to the original point. Those who have a higher level of conscious awareness become indifferent to their rank within society. As a result, they focus on being true winners in life, pursuing their own happiness. They lose interest in how others judge them. Among them, some people might find joy in making money and become wealthy, but because they don't care about their social ranking, they don't become obsessed with money, nor do they flaunt their wealth. On the contrary, those who boast about their wealth or are obsessed with money are living instinctively, driven by primal, unconscious desires. In spiritual terms, people living in 3D consciousness tend to follow their instincts. For those living in 3D consciousness, life is a constant competition. And the world is a scary place where only the strong survive. Their lives are driven by primal fears and desires. They constantly compare themselves to others, seeking to prove that they are winners. In the spiritual world, people living this way are described as asleep. Unawakened, or asleep, refers to people who are just living by their instincts. However, this is not about being better or worse, or about right or wrong. The ideas of a better and a worse, or right and wrong, are just illusions, too. Something I'll explain in more detail in future videos. It's simply that individuals experience different levels of awakened consciousness. In fact, being in an unawakened state allows you to feel both joy and suffering more intensely, which can make life richer in a certain sense. Being unawakened makes the real world feel more immersive. When you're happy, you feel extremely happy, and when you're suffering, it feels very real. That's why the awakening of consciousness has both advantages and disadvantages. If you want to stay immersed in the real world, it might be better not to awaken fully. Therefore, there's no need to force others to awaken, nor is it possible to force them to awaken. What is the awakening process? The stages. To move from 3D consciousness to 5D consciousness. The first step is overcoming your pride, which marks the first stage of awakening. In other words, when you stop comparing yourself to others and thinking, I'm more successful than that person, and instead become humble, realizing, I might have room to improve. That's when you've entered the first stage of awakening. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In 3D consciousness, your focus is on fulfilling lower-level needs. But as you ascend to 5D consciousness, your focus shifts towards self-actualization. Self-actualization means going beyond the need for approval from others. As your consciousness level rises, you stop aiming for social success and instead pursue personal success in life. And as your awakening deepens, from a neurological perspective, as the functionality of your prefrontal cortex improves, your reasoning begins to awaken, and you develop more sophisticated and rational thinking. As a result, you start to succeed more in areas such as love, work, and finances. Ultimately, some people even become socially successful without meaning to, although their focus is now on self-improvement, self-actualization, and personal happiness. They attract success because their reasoning is more effective, leading to better outcomes in every area of life. Consequently, they end up receiving more recognition from others. In this way, it becomes easier to achieve both social success and personal success simultaneously. How to control your life freely. People with 5D consciousness have a higher level of awareness and control over their conscious mind. This means they have a greater ability to control their own lives. Here's how it works. We all have dreams while we sleep, right? The dream world is usually 100% controlled by the unconscious mind, the subconscious. In dreams, you don't typically realize, "Oh, I'm dreaming." Instead, your thoughts and actions are guided unconsciously, and you simply experience the emotions, like fear or happiness, without control. In other words, because you can't use your conscious mind in dreams, you're unable to consciously control your actions within the dream. For example, in a dream, you can't think, "No, I'll actually go this way," and change direction. That's why living your life without using your conscious mind is like being in a dream. Without self-awareness, living unconsciously, your thoughts and actions are driven by automatic behaviors. You only end up experiencing the emotions, feeling worried or happy as they come. Now, do you even realize that this is the real world right now? Through my training in the practices of Taoism, I've been fortunate enough to experience an awakening of my consciousness. It was the moment I first thought, "Wow, this is reality." It felt like I woke up in the middle of the long dream of life. That's what awakening is. And about 14 years ago, I wrote an article titled "Life is a Dream." That article still exists today, but it's written in Japanese. I plan to translate it and release it as a video in English soon. If you imagine, what would happen if you were fully aware in your dream and thought, "This is a dream"? That would be a lucid dream, and in it, you'd have the ability to move around freely, right? Similarly, as your level of consciousness increases in the real world, you gain more freedom and control over your life in reality. Up until now, your automatic thoughts and actions were driven by your primal, unconscious mind. But as you ascend to 5D consciousness, you become more aware, gaining the ability to control yourself and your life with more freedom. This is the second stage of awakening. And at this stage, you've reached a sufficient level of awakening for achieving personal happiness. From the perspective of the subconscious mind, during sleep, the kind of dreams you have and how they unfold are greatly influenced by your subconscious mental state. This is why people use dream interpretation to gain insights into their subconscious. If your subconscious state is negative, you'll have corresponding dreams, and you'll experience fear or discomfort in those dreams. Since you can't use your conscious mind in dreams, you can't change the course of the dream consciously. This also applies to real life. Since 95% of your thoughts and actions are driven by your subconscious mind, your subconscious mental state has a significant impact on how your life unfolds. If your subconscious is in a negative state, you'll experience fear and discomfort in real life. That's why, by reprogramming your subconscious into a positive state, your thoughts and actions start to change, and your life and its course begin to change as well. From the perspective of consciousness, there are two ways to change yourself and your life. Increase the level of control you have over your conscious mind. Reprogram your subconscious. The practices of Taoist mental training address both of these areas. Finally, let's talk about the third stage of awakening. What is the third stage of awakening? The third stage of awakening is the level of 5D consciousness. This stage is often referred to as the true awakening stage in spirituality, and most references to awakening point to this level. At this stage, your consciousness is filled with love and peace, and your mind begins to function with quantum thinking, the ability to consider multiple possibilities simultaneously. In terms of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this corresponds to the desire for self-transcendence, which is the sixth level of need beyond self-actualization. Self-transcendence involves the desire to make others happy and to improve society, surpassing personal happiness. Usually, our love is focused on ourselves or those close to us, like family. But as your 5D consciousness deepens, the scope of your love expands, and you begin to transcend the duality of a self and others, entering a state of oneness where everything is connected. This means you start to feel that loving others equals loving yourself, and loving yourself equals loving others. Summary: what is consciousness? Apes don't wonder, what is consciousness? Apes focus on things like their rank, food, and mates, instinctual concerns. In that sense, you, who have made it this far in a video about consciousness, are either already awakened, in the process of awakening, or on the verge of it. What you focus your attention on is heavily influenced by your level of consciousness. In other words, people who are still asleep in their consciousness don't usually find these types of topics interesting. Now, if you're not fully awakened yet, you might experience some discomfort living in this world, especially as you start to awaken. That's because most people are still living in 3D consciousness. So, as you begin to awaken, you might feel out of sync with those around you, which can create a sense of discomfort. And just like IQ, your level of consciousness tends to adjust automatically to match the people around you. As a result, some people unconsciously put themselves back to sleep so they can better fit in with their environment. One way to handle this is to push through and fully awaken. By doing so, you'll gain a clearer, higher perspective of the world. With that understanding, you'll care less about fitting in with others, or about how others evaluate you. On the surface, you might continue to behave like an ordinary person, adapting to different situations. But deep down, you'll realize that none of that really matters. You'll see that there's no real meaning in conforming or seeking understanding from others. And once you see that, life becomes much easier. I'll be explaining more about this awakened perspective in future videos. If that interests you, I hope you'll join me again. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I truly appreciate it.